have just checked out of my first property. I really liked Cambridge. It was really nice. Felt very safe, very studenty. But I'm headed to my new location, which I'm excited about, but it's about 2 hours on public transport. I could Uber it, but actually I'm enjoying the adventure of getting the public transport, so. Interesting. That's exactly what someone who can't afford an Uber would say. I'm chill.
Many hours later.
I am at my new room. It is actually so much cuter than the other one. And it's way cheaper too. This is my bathroom. It's only little, but you know, size doesn't mean everything, you know? Got a cute little cupboard. Oh, and here's like just a little thing that makes places like a bit more luxurious. Is a dressing gown, a toweling robe. Nice big mirror. Hello, I'm going somewhere. And yes, it's got some snacks, got some coffee. All of the beds have charging ports beside them, which is again another small thing that makes it like a bit more luxurious. But I think this is going to be a really cool backdrop for filming videos and stuff over the next few days. I got a discount thing to get a psychic reading, 15-minute psychic reading. Do I believe in psychicness? I'm skeptical. I think some people are way more intuitive than other people. Mostly, to be honest, look at it as a bit of fun. Wouldn't take it too seriously, but I think it's going to kind of get me in the mood for being in Salem. Did I mention that? That's where I am. I'm in Salem, home of the witch trials. And if you didn't know, there was some talk about my mom's side of the family being... They weren't called witches in Ireland. There is something witchly in my heritage. But yeah, we're gonna just go have a little bit of fun, not take anything too seriously. I don't know if I'm gonna be allowed to film the reading, but we'll see. My hotel had this really cool spooky feel. Even my little breakfast thing came with a black bow. But it was just the beginning of my realization that Salem loves a theme, and the theme is witchcraft. It's literally everywhere, so obviously my next stop could only be one place. So I am here at the Salem Witch Museum, which is supposedly the most visited place in the whole of Salem. So if I'm going to start somewhere, why not start here? You might be wondering a little bit about Ireland and the history of witchcraft. Witchcraft wasn't a huge thing in Ireland, but it did exist. So around the time of the witch hunts here, we were kind of more focused on surviving English rule. Also, we were very into folklore and tales of fairies and things like that. In fact, a lot of times women who might have been called witches in the context of here in Salem would have been looked at more as wise women or women with gifts in Ireland. So probably better to be a witch in Ireland than here. It's not to say women in Ireland had a better time. We had our own stuff going on.
Just trying to survive.
However, we did have a couple of witch trials. Of course, everybody knows about the Salem witch trials, but what about the Irish witch hunts? Well, there's a lot fewer. And there's just a couple of infamous cases that bookend our history. The first case was way back in 1324 in Kilkenny. Alice Kyteler, a wealthy woman with 4 mysteriously dead husbands, was accused of witchcraft, sorcery, and, my personal favourite, consorting with a demon named Robin Artisan. Alice managed to escape, but her maid, Petronilla de Meath, was not so lucky. She became the first woman in Ireland burned for witchcraft. And that was just because they couldn't get their hands on Alice and wanted to burn somebody. Grim stuff. Fast forward nearly 400 years to 1711 and we get the last Irish witch trial in Island Magee, County Antrim. 8 women were accused of bewitching a teenage girl named Mary Dunbar who claimed she was possessed. She was screaming, levitating, vomiting nails, you know, the usual Tuesday. They were all convicted under the Old English Witchcraft Act, making it Ireland's final witch trial. Our last official flirtation with demon panic. Well, it depends if you're talking politics, but we won't go there. So no, we didn't have the witch-burning hysteria of Salem or even Scotland. Just 2 very Irish tales. One rich widow with terrible PR and one frightened girl in Antrim who blamed the neighbours. Between the two, Ireland decided witchcraft wasn't for us. We had enough to deal with other countries coming in and trying to conquer us. She wasn't killed, but she was locked up, so not fun to be accused of being a witch, but maybe if you kept it on the down low, did a little bit of holistic medicine, you'd be all right in Ireland. Armed with my newfound information, I was off to check out something I'd been dying to see ever since I decided to go to Salem. The filming locations of one of my favorite movies ever.
It's Halloween Eve, and they're back.
We're home.
Hocus Pocus.
So this is Max and Danny's house from the Hocus Pocus movie. It's so funny being here because I can see it's not the biggest house in the neighborhood, but at the same time when I watched it as a kid, I was like, massive American house. I remember in the movie, the kids seemed like pissed off to arrive at this house.
Can't believe you made me move here.
And I was just like, it's such a cute house. I don't get it. It's such a cute house. But then they went to Allison's house and they're like, ooh, mansion. So let's see if there is a big difference. Okay, it's bigger.
Wow. Check out this house.
Rich people.
So what's kind of interesting about this house is it's not just where the Hocus Pocus movie was filmed. It's also a venue with its very own interesting history. The house itself was built in the 1720s and once belonged to the Ropes family, one of Salem's oldest lineages. But its beauty hides something darker. Local legend says Abigail Ropes died here after her dress caught fire near the hearth, and some visitors swear they still feel her presence in the halls. Oh hey, look what I ran into. Look. I loved her growing up. We had all the reruns on my very old television, and yeah, I just thought she was the most gorgeous woman in the world. So this was the school in Hocus Pocus, but I'm just wondering where the yard is for like lunch break. Is this it? Because it's very small. Don't you have to have a place for young people to gather outdoors in America, or is that not a school thing here? So, as you can see, Salem had no shortage of spooky things to see and do. In fact, at this point, the occult basically is the local economy. Kind of poetic, really, considering this town once had, well, let's sum it up as a complicated relationship with women who knew things. Oh, God forbid. I wasn't allowed to film the reading itself. It happened behind this mysterious little curtain, which actually made it feel even spookier. Or maybe that was just the copious amounts of incense. Incense was everywhere in Salem. I did like it, though. Okay, had my reading. She was very confused, which is fair enough, because so am I. I said to her, I've known me my whole life and I can't answer these questions. How could you? Actually, I didn't really have any questions when I went in. I knew she'd ask me what question. I was like, I don't know, just see what happens. But yeah, she was like very confused. So, oh dear. And then she died. No, I didn't die. But I can tell you that nothing that the psychic said actually came true in the end. So take that for what you will. I really enjoyed my trip to Salem, Massachusetts, and learning all about the history of the witches, who weren't witches at all, probably. Or maybe they were. Let me know below in comments your thoughts, theories, and any spooky stories you want to share with me. That's it for today. See you guys on the other side. Bye.